Hi, guys, and in this episode, in this audio recording, I'm going to be talking about how you can be happy no matter what, in any situation, at all times, literally no matter what circumstance you're in, how to get yourself to be happy and stay happy. The first thing that I want to say is that happiness is a training. It is something that you practice for. It is something that requires repetition. It requires just a lot of repeated behaviors and thinking patterns for you to rewire into that new mindset. It is a mindset. It's not an off and off switch. It's something more like a muscle that constantly has to be worked. And by no means am I always happy all the time. However, whenever I do dip into a little bit of sadness, because life is life, recently this year, I lost 3 people within a span of like 5 or 6 months. And I was still able to use these tools that I'm going to share with you to get myself back into that high vibe happiness state. So whether you're going through grief, whether you're going through a breakup or separation, or maybe you lost your job or whatever, I'm going to teach you how to rewire and see things differently so that you can actually have real joy and real peace, because happiness isn't and shouldn't be dependent on circumstances. If you have circumstantial happiness, that is not real happiness, because essentially what's happening is your 3D reality circumstances are basically in charge of your happiness. So that means that if something happens externally, if somebody says the wrong thing, if something happens, because life is life, you basically dip back down and you don't really truly own your happiness, because it's dependent on things that are external from you. So when you use the tools I'm about to share with you, your happiness becomes real. It becomes you, and it's not dependent on anything besides your decision to be happy. So the first thing that I want to say, the first step I would say, is stopping in a victim mindset. So stopping in a victim mindset, what I mean by this is go from thinking, why is this happening to me? Stuff like this always happening to me, to what is this teaching me? What is God trying to show me? What is unfolding for me? What do I need to see? So why is this happening to me? Shifting to what is this teaching me? And stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances, as a victim of life, and start seeing yourself, or start seeing the world, I should say, as everything is happening for me. Everything is a divine master plan for you to get everything that you want, even if it's bad, even if it seems like it's wrong. Know that everything is divinely aligning for you to get everything that you want. And so sometimes in life, when you're having life shifts and you're changing your life, things may seem like it's falling apart. But that's because you ask for change. You want to change, and so things have to change in order for you to receive the change. So don't be a victim. Victimhood doesn't solve anything. It just keeps you in a cycle of feeling bad for yourself. It keeps you in a cycle of seeing the world as negative and out to get you. And so the next thing I want to say is that, number 2, realize that you are in control of how you react, not necessarily what goes on, not necessarily how other people respond, but you are in control of how you respond. And so find power in that. Don't try to control the outcome. Don't try to control other people or your circumstances. Simply be in control of how you respond, how you react, how you go about the situation, and everything like that, because that is truly all that you can actually control. You cannot really control these other variables, but you can control yourself. And most importantly, you can control how you see the situation. Okay, you can control if this is a good situation or if this is a bad situation in your mind. You can control your perception of life. You can't always control life, but you can control your perception, how you think about life, how you respond to life. Okay? So that's number 2. The next thing I want to say is some mindset shifts. So being happy all the time, I'm going to move my phone the other way. I'm actually doing this like literally in bed. It's so funny. I have a Charlie horse, so I'm going to move the other way so I can continue this podcast episode. So the next few tips I want to give you are more mindset related. Understand that whatever emotion that you're feeling in the moment is momentary, okay? I used to be really, really sad, and then I would feel like this is how I'm always going to feel. But the truth is that life happens moment to moment. We're in the present moment. The past and the future only exists as a thought within our mind. They're not real. We can't see it. We can't touch it. We can't smell it. We are constantly experiencing, reality in the present moment. And so don't make decisions that are permanent or react in a negative way when this is just a moment. Allow a moment to just be a moment. Like, maybe you're feeling sad, maybe you're feeling angry, maybe you're feeling, a negative emotion that you don't want to feel, right? Maybe you're not feeling happy. Understand that too is just a moment. My grandmother used to say all the time, this too shall pass. So let a moment be a moment. Be careful how you respond. Don't make any permanent decisions. This is why it's really important to control your emotions and be emotionally regulated, because life is always happening moment to moment. And what I want you to do is I want you to write down everything that your mind is telling you. I literally just did this today, and I just wrote a list just because I'm constantly trying to clean up my mindset and my mental habits. And so go in your journal or go like in your notes app if that's more comfortable for you, whichever you prefer. I think it's better to write, but sometimes I find myself writing in my notes too. What is your mind telling you? Is your mind telling you that it's too late? Is your mind telling you that, somebody doesn't love you or you're not loved? Is your mind telling you that you are overweight or you don't look good? Or is your mind telling you that you can't make this amount of money? Write the stories that come up from your mind. Write it all out. Write it all out on paper. And then I want you to, on the opposite side of the page, make a mental reframe for all of those things. So for example, if you're having fear, because this is something that came up for me, I'm 27 and a half. Like, I turned 27 and a half in June, and I'm getting closer to 30. And so I had this fear of like, I'm running out of time and I'm not going to be beautiful anymore, and this and that and all these things about turning 30 as I'm in my late 20s. And I just wrote down or just had this mental reframe that actually I'm not running out of time, I'm running into time. Actually, I'm not running out of time. I have more than enough time to achieve my goals and my dreams, and I have more than enough time. In fact, I have so much time, I don't even know what to do with all this time. Like, I'm going to have to get new hobbies. I'm going to have to meet new people. I'm going to have to go on more trips because I have so much time to live a beautiful life. So make those reframes like on the other side of the page when you write down what your mind is telling you, and you're going to see what's going to come up, and you're going to make the opposite reframe so that you can start training your mind. It is so important to train your mind for the good. And this is a practice, this is a lifestyle, and you're going to constantly have to catch yourself when your mind makes slip-ups of like thinking negative. You're going to have to catch your mind and make that mental reframe or think about the opposite positive, and you're going to have to do that manually. until it becomes automatic. It's like we are having to reprogram manually until it becomes automatic, because right now what's probably happening to you is all of your thoughts are automatic. All of these negative thoughts, all of these thoughts that are not serving you, that is holding you back, like literally our thoughts keep us in an old identity. The reason why we are stuck living out this identity, because our identity is responsible for our reality. And so the reason why you have the reality is because of your identity, and the reason why the identity has been the same and is not serving you is because of these automatic thoughts. The thoughts that come up automatically, you don't even have to think about doing it. They just come up and they cause chaos in your life. They cause you to not take on new opportunities. They cause you to stay stuck in situations, relationships, workplace environments that is not serving you. Like, the thoughts are the most, like, honestly, your thoughts are the most powerful manifestation tool. Like, that's what I've known to be true about life, is that nothing matters more than what you are thinking, than what you choose to play in your mind, than what you choose to have as mental images and mental movies. Because we have thoughts, but then we also have these like mental images, mental movies, these stories that we think about over and over and over again. So the same reality that you're that quote unquote stuck in comes from the same thinking patterns. So you have to think new thoughts, and this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You retrain every time it comes up, you catch it, and you think something new. You think something new. That is how you become something new. You become something new by thinking your way there, by thinking something new. Okay, you don't create a new life or manifest the life of your dreams with hustle. You definitely can, but the easier way, the more aligned way, the permanent way is by changing the inside. Because getting things is easy, keeping them is the actual work. Keeping them, keeping the money, keeping the relationship, keeping the success, compounding it, letting it grow, keeping the weight loss, letting it, like all those things. The number one thing that matters is keeping it. So I'm going to be talking more and more about the mind, because I feel like this is what God has really like wanted me to focus on, because I feel like that has been the issue my entire life, is like overcoming my mindset, overcoming my limiting beliefs, like being the master of my mind and not letting my mind rule me has been the biggest game changer in my manifestation. So thank you guys so much. I love you. I am doing this at 10 p.m. in Bali. More about that on my page. I've been doing some traveling and just kind of having fun, trying to figure out like exactly like what I want to talk about online. So I appreciate you listening in. If you like this, please let me know, because it makes me want to do more. Like not that it won't make me do more, but I feel like hearing positive feedback that people really resonate with this, obviously, it's just nice to hear that, people are really enjoying this kind of content, and it's definitely motivating me. I try not to let, the 3D and like other people's opinions motivate me, but, I can't help but want to help people. And so it just makes me feel good knowing this helps people and that I'm doing some good in the world, spreading positivity. So anyway, love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.